Hey, this is my submission for the Wear Test Challenge Chart 1 tester, where we had to create charts for activity logs of the one tester. Let's just go through the requirements quickly. We can see the chart has to show time series, either cumulative or absolute. It has to show distance or time. It has to switch between miles and kilometers. And stuff like that. We can also filter by wear test, so we're gonna show everything in the submission right now. So let's just log in as a tester. We can see that the graph is getting rendered. It's not just showing, it's everything is rendered. So let's show something else. We can see that it's rendered again. The y-axis also is getting rescaled and re-rendered as we choose different parameters. So we can choose absolute or cumulative. We can switch between minutes and hours. We can switch also between miles and kilometers, but that doesn't do anything, of course, because we're showing time. Now for the cool part, we can add another graph up here, so we can have the green one is now time and this one is distance. We can also set this one off or set that one off depending on what we want to do. So if we just switch it to the kilometers, now we can see this axis is changing, and if we want to change minutes, we can see this graph is changing like it should. We can also change cumulative. We can set any parameter anytime that we want, and we can do everything for the distance for basically anytime, anything. So we can also choose a specific wear test. I hope I got that right from the comments, because I wasn't too sure, but if we see this object, it has wear test, so I searched all the activity logs connected to an ID of a wear test, and basically I'm showing that wear test name. So for example, if I press CloudTrail Runner, we can see all the activity logs connected to this wear test, or let me rephrase that. It shows all the activity logs that has this ID, this wear test with this ID inside of them here in the wear test object of the activity logs. So we can also see that this renders really nicely again, so we can add time and stuff like that. We're also updating this field here, so we can go back to all and daily and everything. So that's basically it for the requirements for like re-rendering and everything. I didn't create the grid behind because it was pretty cluttered if I did, because we have two graphs and stuff like that. But if we would create if you want to create a grid behind, it's really simple. We just add like two functions and one parameter, and we can get a grid. But I chose not to input it at this point, but it's really simple if you want to. So yeah, that's basically it for the submission. I'm gonna go to the code now, because it's a lot of things had to be done to make this work. Let's just see this. I had a cool idea for README files. I started to shape it like in this document, where we have two lines, two headlines. One are changes in existing projects and one are new files. And in changes in existing project, I have bold which file and on what line, so we know what was changed for this challenge. I think this is really cool, because it helps a lot to see the changes actually made in the framework of the wear test challenges. Tell me if you like this format of this README file, then I'm gonna stick to it. Otherwise, I'm gonna create something new. So I had to create a new chart directive because it's pretty massive, and new controller for charts. There's a bunch of things going on. I'm not gonna go so much in controller because there's some basic let's say distance converting. So we check if it's kilometers or miles, and we convert that to proper format, and we add that to our object. Normalized distance in miles, normalized distance in kilometers. We are getting chart data. We are watching the parameters and setting appropriate stuff. We are formatting the time so it can be used in the 3D GS graphing tool. Oh yeah, by the way, this graph was created by D3GS. I thought it's much better than Google Charts because it's so much powerful, and it's you can customize it much more. So the only really interesting thing is here when I created the where test mapping. Basically, what that does, it creates a map of an object. Like this. So for example, this is our Cloud Trail Runner, and we have activity logs for this inside. So with help of this, I am passing the data for like Cloud Trail Runner, road rage, and so on. Another small thing, if we choose example old barn, which contains only one object, as you see here, we of course only get change the axis because we don't have no time parameters. We cannot draw a line if you have only one point. So basically, just this axis gets changed. That's just how this D3S works. Yeah, so I created this mapping. This would be cool if the API could return something like that. Also, it would be cool if API could return something like the normalized values in kilometers and miles, so we wouldn't have to do so much work. But I think every changes were basically mentioned in the comments already. Sorry about that. Something cut me off there. Yeah, where was I? So it would be cool if the server would return these values, but everything was mentioned in the comments already. These changes that would be needed. Otherwise, I don't think it's that bad if we do that on the client. So the main part is the chart.js directive, which has all the stuff for the D3GS charts. It's pretty huge, but it's mostly connected to the D3S. So if you know what D3 does, it's pretty basic. So basically, we're creating the axis, we're creating the lines. This line is used because we want to animate from the zero, and this line is used when you're showing two graphs on our chart. So basically, we have to append this axis and put some attributes on it. We are doing everything in this update metrics method. We're resetting the appropriate let's say metrics. If we want our metrics in time, duration, in hours, so we set it here, and we're setting everything here, but then we are animating in this method, which is here. We are basically just redrawing everything with the duration of 750 milliseconds, which means that that's that animation that we see. We also have to rescale the axis, and it looks like a lot of code, but it's actually really straightforward if you know D3. I see I have some indentation issues here. I'm gonna fix this. I just wanted to make the video first because the upload is gonna take some time. I also created a partial view for this chart. It's here. I thought the partial view has much more sense than the template in the directive because it's pretty complex. So here it's everything we see for the drop downs and radio boxes and stuff like that. Also, the labels for this axis are actually here, and I put it there with positioning because we have greater styling options if we put it in HTML. Because if we create it with the SVG, we cannot apply fonts and stuff like that to that text. So yeah, that is basically it for the challenge. Also, let me know in the submission details. There's a comment if the English is our second language, we may provide a text in our video. Please let me know if you can understand me, and I will provide the text next time. Otherwise, I prefer to narrate it. So yeah, that's it.